wealth, and health. You can only choose two. Did you hear that? Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Danny Faraj. This is my fourth episode of this podcast, the Faraj Podcast. This podcast is going to be controversial, or maybe disagree with me in a way or another, but I hold true to it. So, with that being said, let's get into it. You have already read the title, and the title refers to smart people being broke. We're told to believe that smart people eventually get successful, succeed in some way or another. But, being smart, what does that mean? If you want to talk about book smart, are you talking about street smart? Are you talking about, someone who's emotionally intelligent? What are you talking about? I used to believe that people that are, filthy rich, like crazy rich, are smarter than me. But the more I grow up and the more people I meet, some dumb, some smart, some extremely smart, and I look at the statistics, out of 10 smart people, I don't really find more than 2 or 3 that are actually, like, you can call them rich, relatively, obviously. Um, you could say millionaires, for example, right? I guess wealth is a very relative spectrum, but let's say over a million, under a million. And you ask yourself why? Well, I believe it goes into 2 or 3 different points. First point is, are you monetizing your smartness, if that's even a word? Number two, in what endeavor are you in? Are you in like the academic route? Are you on the business route? Are you on the employee route? What are you? Are you self-employed? Um, People that are so smart tend to be more into the academic slash employee. So number one, the smart person utilizing their IQ level, are they monetizing it? What does that mean? Okay, well, I have watched thousands and thousands of YouTube videos and tutorials and how to start a business and how to make 500K in 5 months and whatever the case may be. I've learned so much. I read books, I read journals, well, sorry, you can't read, well, you can read journals, but you journal every day, you read books every day, you're just up and running with learning. Cool? Now, you're learning all that, but you're not applying it into this real world, then it's kind of going to waste, right? You can learn all the books you want and you can journal all you want, but if you're not taking action towards a monetary goal, then what's the point of being smart? It's just to you what, like impress yourself, impress your girl, like what's the point? In a way, you use it or you lose it. That's how the world works, even with like muscles. I work out every day and I get a pump, I'm like good, and then I stop for like a month or a month and a half, and then I look at my muscles, I'm like, oh damn, they've they've deflated. They've gotten smaller. Well, because I'm not using them anymore. Same thing with the brain. How much are you gonna consume? And I'm speaking this from a personal journey, by the way. Just so you guys could know, I've like watched all the videos, I've read all the books, and I've wandered, and I'm like, how is that serving me in any way, shape, or form? At this point, it's just a waste of time. So if you're not monetizing your brain, then it's just useless. Therefore, you're not gonna be gaining the money that you want. Which gets me to my second point, which is employability. Say you are a smart person, but you don't go for the academic route nor the employee route, and you go for the business owner route, the entrepreneur. At this point, if you're not able to be an empath, put yourself in their shoes, in the people that you're going to employ, then you will be one of the worst entrepreneurs you could be. A bad entrepreneur is someone who doesn't understand their employees, just gives bossy commands rather than be a leader. Unless you rigorously work on your leadership skills, your communication skills, then only at that point where you're able to be successful in the money world. And when I say the money world, I mean, the jobs that get you the most amount of bang for your buck, not the jobs that you exchange money for time. And then gets me to the third point. Knowing that you're smarter than others is going to put you in stagnation. Once you look at your surroundings and you realize that you are smarter than people, you have an advantage um, brain wise. You are better at understanding things faster. You pick up on things quicker. You don't need to study as much for exams. If someone taught you something, you're able to get it right away, right? You clearly are smarter than others. At that point, two things happen. First one, which is the most common thing, is you take it for granted. You take you being smarter for granted and say, if I'm smarter than others, then I don't need to try harder than others. So you just end up being lazy because you're not activating as much energy as other people that are, doubling, tripling their efforts to reach the same level as you are, whether academically or in your job. You tend to lay back. You tend to be lazy about it. You just lazy out. Why? You feel comfortable because you have no competition, no survivability, uh, or no survival instincts in a way. If you're smarter than others and you clearly know that, you're just gonna take it for granted. You're just not going to be at your highest levels of performance. That's the first thing you'll do. The second thing is you realize, and that's the minority, by the way, you realize that you are smarter than others. You realize that it takes you less amount of time to finish X amount of tasks. And between you and yourself, you're like, wait a minute. If I'm able to execute things way faster than others, if I put the same exact efforts, maybe a little bit more than others, I will skyrocket. I will be in places that I've never imagined. So, I believe, in my humble opinion, that every smart person that knows they're smart, and I'm not just saying like they're foolishly smart or someone who thinks that they're smart, someone who's actually smart, um, and it's been proven to them times and times again that they are smarter than others. I believe that's your time to take it. Do not take it for granted and understand, other than the fact that you are on this earth for such a limited time, understand that if you put the same amount of efforts, just a little bit more even sometimes, you will be in places you will never imagine. And that's the only way where smart people do take it to the next level and do become hyper successful. Now, if you truly think about it, if you look around you and you look at the people that are successful, what do they have in common? No one gave up. No one quit. No one gave up. That's the first indication of someone being hyper successful. Second one is the volume of actions, the actions you take per hour. If you want to be filthy rich, and by the way, this is coming from someone who's not filthy rich yet, I noticed that rich people don't have a buffer time between what they think about and when they execute it. That timeline is very minuscule, and we're talking about minutes, sometimes suddenly. I sat beside so many rich people. Everyone is very respectful of their time. If they have a thought, if they had an idea, if they thought about calling a person, if they thought about a business idea, if they thought about a specific task they needed to do, I just find them pick up their phone and do it, or stand up and go do it. So we got not giving up, we got actions per hour through the roof. And last but not least is patience. If you have these three, no matter what IQ level you are, I guarantee you, you will have the formula of crazy success. So I don't believe it's contingent on IQ level at all. Now, where IQ level makes a difference, I believe when it comes to the little things. In operations, how fast are you able to adapt? How fast are you able to learn from others? That's when being smarter is going to serve you better. If you're able to utilize your, I keep wanting to say smartity. It's like saying stupidity, smartity. Anyways, at the end of the day, if you're smart, does not guarantee your success. And if you're stupid, that does not guarantee your failure. It's being smart or stupid does not have to do with any monetary gains or losses, in my humble opinion. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. It's definitely something that's not black and white. It has a lot of gray, but I personally do not correlate being smart with being rich. With that being said, question of the day is, you have love, wealth, and health. You can only choose two. Did you hear that? Someone's blasting music. You have love, health, and wealth. Which two would you choose to be their highest potential, and which one would you let go? When I say let go, I don't mean completely take away from your life. I just mean it wouldn't be as high as the two others. Would you choose love and wealth and disregard health? Would you choose health and love and disregard wealth? What would you choose? Let me know in the comments below. With that being said, thank you all for tuning in. All right, good night. I'm gonna have my shower. Just had a long run.